Yo, 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 what up everybody? It's your boy Albut, back at it again with another video. Now today, I'm doing something that y'all have been raving on social media for me to do for weeks now. Now today, we're doing a tier list, but not just any tier list. We're doing a tier list ranking the races based on their hotness.
Ranking day, it's ranking day. Ranking day, it's ranking day. Today's a day we rank.
Alright, so first up we got Hispanics. Hispanics are gonna go in A tier for ay papi. Next up we got Asians. Now I'm gonna give Asians a grade of A. Oh yeah. Next up we got Black people. Black people are gonna get an A. Next up we got Mexicans. Oh yeah. Wait, isn't Mexican is a nationality? Whatever. Mexican's gonna go in A tier. Oh yeah. A for ay cabrón. Next up we got the whole damn Middle East, a geographic region with tons of ethnic and linguistic diversity put in the same group. Race makes sense. Alright boys, next up we got Afro-Latinos. Let's see, let's put them in A tier. Wait, Afro-Latinos. You can mix them? What the hell are you doing? Hey man, I'm just hoping you pump out content.
No, you're done. Get off.
Oh shoot. I apologize for all the trauma that I have caused you all. Screw you, man. I'm going back to the peepee realm. They let me be me. They let me be as shallow and as mean-spirited as I want to be. Now, as much as I would like to pretend that that spaz is some distant doofus that I don't even remember, in reality, I have to admit that he is still part of me. Very racially charged part of me? Yes. Easy to get rid of? No. Now, speaking of getting rid of things... Now, when it comes to dealing with racially charged imagery and language, both old and new, there seems to be two main camps. Now, on one hand, you'll have conservatives and reactionaries say something along the lines of, no, you can't get rid of Aunt Jemima, she's part of history. I still remember how it all changed. A lot of people seethe when they hear companies being asked to take things down that people consider offensive and cite things like free speech or censorship as buzzwords. And then when the company in question does actually voluntarily take down the problematic piece, people will then point to say, see, they voluntarily took it down. It's not censorship. Yet both camps seem way too content hinging the fate of problematic media and figures into the hands of the corporate entities that made them in the first place. Whether it's the removal of a Confederate statue, a racist caricature, or passively racist book, it seems weird that the debate over the impact that these depictions in our media have ultimately comes down to, did they remove it yet? Here's how the same story goes. Something gets brought up on Twitter, there's Twitter spats, said thing gets talked about in the headlines for several weeks, said thing gets changed, removed, or replaced by the company, conservatives mauled, and then that's it. Now you might say, well, Albut, by complaining about these problematic things on Twitter, we're essentially forcing these companies to address these things, laying the foundation down for good discourse and education. Really? Like, conservatives don't suddenly become convinced on a mass scale that updating our popular media and culture to be less offensive and racist is beneficial. And liberals seem all too content with leaving their Twitter spats and very vague allusions to critical race theory stand as productive discourse. Wait, that's exactly what I did at the beginning of this video. But I'm not done yet. We're not done yet. Hold on. And so I do have an issue with how we've taken a liking to removing harmful aspects of popular culture. Now hold on, I don't think removal itself is indicative of some sort of a looming censorship spree or erasure of history, and I don't think anything of great value is lost when I don't see Uncle Ben on the rice boxes anymore, or the Land O'Lakes lady on butter. But rather, I think it's a loss of potential value. If you really want people to start caring about how depictions in media can affect our perception of others, then instead of just starting off by taking away the depiction in question, maybe we should start adding to the depiction. Like, I know this sounds really stupid, but what if instead of just getting rid of Aunt Jemima, there was a giant asterisk on the front of the box with explanation about the history of the character on the back? I mean, you could be pouring your syrup there one Sunday and then suddenly, ain't your mama. I mean, if people can stumble upon information and historical context in situations they weren't expecting on their own, hopefully make them a little bit more receptive to change as compared to going on Twitter and being lectured at by someone whose go-to response is usually, I don't have to explain anything to you. It's not my job to educate you. And instead of giving corporations the easy way out by just letting them scrap their racist creations, have them explain what that is. Just like food products have to have nutritional facts, why can't they also have historical facts? Instead of just trimming out the passively racist and problematic fixtures in our society, we should be adding a catalyst for people to deconstruct these problematic fruits and ultimately the past that they came from. Now, just exactly how would we apply this stupid solution? Well, obviously, adding large portions of text to every person, place, or thing is impractical to say the least. But we live in a digitalist era. We could add a QR code to public figures, online profiles, to public spaces, or even products. Which is why I'm going to follow my own suggestion and rank my most bigoted blunders. That's right, my most offensive videos on a tier list. See, instead of just failing to address, unlisting, or deleting my videos, I could use this as a learning experience and point how each one is an issue. That way, little edgelord hatchlings in the future can take my advice and see where not to
cross the line.
Now keep in mind, a lot of the subject matter and clips that I show on here on after has the potential to be very offensive. So this is a warning. Offensive material ahead. This is another warning.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
Now, I have addressed a lot of these edgy videos that you're about to see in this video. And in that video, I said that I would not be apologizing. Let me elaborate. When I say I'm not apologizing, it's not that I don't feel bad or don't feel remorse for making messed up jokes. But one, to apologize insinuates that I made some sort of mistake or didn't know any better. But I purposely made edgy content trying to gain an audience and trying to get views and clicks the cheap way. Newsflash, it didn't work. Secondly, I feel like an apology just doesn't cut it. With this type of depravity, you can't just say sorry and ask to be forgiven. I mean, you wouldn't expect a serial killer to issue a formal apology. And even though making offensive material is nowhere near as bad as murder, you still wouldn't expect either offender to leverage forgiveness. I've already made my choices. It's not in my power to say if I'm good or not. So without further ado, let's get on ranking my most offensive videos. Okay guys, we are now in the pimple cam. This is where you can see exactly how many pimples I got. You can chart my zits like the constellations. Okay, so now we got 4 tiers here. We got forgivable. These are the jokes that are a little too spicy, but not exactly the most heinous. Next up, we got double offensive. These are the kind of jokes that are, yeah, they're offensive or they're bordering on it. But more so they're offensive in the fact that they're lame, or so they're kind of offensive and lame. So next up, we got problematic. These are the jokes that are just outright offensive and can be anything from racist caricatures, slurs. Finally, at the top, we got the worst offense. We got reactionary, which is not only offensive, but heinously anti-intellectualism, and just vehemently against positive change. So the first 2 videos we got here are the Rodriguez robbery and Raj's pet. Now these 2 videos are essentially Super Mario Logan videos, but with different characters. And as Super Mario Logan videos, they of course have the racist stereotypes.
Monkey has gone bananas.
Tommy, man, you're not even rich.
Who the hell are you?
Hey kids, my name is Barry, and I'll be your tour guide.
And violence as edgy humor. There's not much to say about these 2, obviously very problematic. Alright, the next video we got is Police Sage with 2. In this video, we're portrayed as a bumbling cop duo, very incompetent, not very good, that kind of trope. Actually, the biggest problem with this video is a joke at the very end. Deputy Nasternak is going to a classroom full of kids for career day.
They like to be called little monkeys. They don't like the typical gender pronouns. So
this is actually where it gets worse. Instead of going to a kid's classroom, goes to some rando dude's house, and this happens.
hello, little monkeys.
What'd you say, nigga?
Now, I don't actually have the actor under there say the N-word. He made a facetious allusion to it, which in and of itself is really problematic enough. So because of that, this video has to go in problematic. Alright, so next up, we got Best Anime Adaptation. Now, this is actually a very short skit. It makes fun of the stereotypical anime tropes. You know, got the main character with shades. You got the old man. Yeah, the biggest issue with this video is a problem that I have continued into recent videos. Basically, instead of using actual Japanese or learning the language, I just spout off a bunch of gibberish that I think sounds Japanese or stereotypically Japanese. It's very reductive to the language, to the people. Very messed up, so yes, problematic. Misinformative News Network number 4. Now this series of videos is always making fun of news, fake news, kind of like The Onion, And Eminem 4, it's not that bad, nothing too offensive. There is a bit about Middle Eastern freedom fighters in a fictional country called Kashmikistan. Not too bad, but the biggest issue is when I'm yelling out stuff in the trenches.
So what do you have to say for America?
I want to stop you. The biggest issue with this video is the audio quality, of course, but also it's just rushed. This feels like a whole practice session instead of an actual video, and I uploaded it like this, really lazily done on my part. It goes in forgivable. Next up we have Sagewood Police 3. Now this video, again, nothing too crazy except for this one joke here.
I do not associate with...
Grr, I can't find anything right now, so.
Making very facetious allusions to the N-word. It's just not a good idea to do that, okay? It's a lame joke. It's lame. It is offensive, so it's gonna go in double offensive. Alright, next up we got The Ballad of Triple K Money. It's not as bad as the title suggests. Actually, it's a purposely satirical video on edgy rappers. Filthy Frank already did a video like this. Obviously, the naming a character Triple K, come on. It is purposely edgy for the sake of making fun of rappers who are trying to be edgy. The biggest offense, however, comes when the video, at the very end, the last rap I do called the Rap Snap. And here's just a portion of it.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
My name is Triple K. Got a mixtape.
If you can sit through that, man, you are a champion, because not only is this video kind of offensive, but it's just lame and really cringy, so it's gonna go in double offensive. Next up we have the worst video I think I've made called The Last Straw. Now on the surface it doesn't seem too heinous or sinister. First of all, there's an ableist joke in here.
My boy Veggie over here, we gave him the best seat in the house, man. Yeah.
Yeah, not a very good look. Just a word of advice for you fellow edgelords. Just because you make an effort to make fun of everyone equally doesn't mean that any potential humor you might make about someone's physical impairments, depression, anxiety, being a minority, doesn't affect them. People who go through things every day don't need things added on top of it. You don't make ableist jokes. The premise essentially is about a straw ban in California and the phasing out and how it's been handled. And I take the very reactionary approach that, oh, you can't solve problems, it's stupid, the straw ban is stupid. Making fun of efforts to phase out straws and plastics that are getting in the ocean under the pseudo-nihilistic guise that, oh, you can't change things, it's stupid, you're just creating more problems. Now, it is one thing to call out and point out the unforeseen consequences of newly enacted policies like a straw ban, but it's another thing to use that as a reason why we shouldn't change things. So, very bad take to have. So yeah, this video is gonna go in reactionary. Alright, next up we got an Irish video. It's called The Brown Irish Jig. It's okay. Obviously, trivializing Irish identity is a little lame. And I harped on Irish stereotypes in videos not once, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 2 times. I don't know what it is. Double offensive. Indian pole gymnastics with Raj Ukstrup. Okay, so this one, imagine a poo, an Indian caricature, right? This one is actually worse because in this video, I do take something that exists, Indian pole gymnastics, but I put on an Indian voice.
This next trick I would like to call the samosa scratcher.
Not the best look. Obviously, I don't think it's a good idea for making a video to go out and appropriate people's voices or what you perceive as their voices and dance around poles to mock their culture. Like, if my goal was to bring more attention to a sport, Indian pole gymnastics, better thing to do would have talk about the history of the sport, the rules, interview people who participate, and have them talk about the sport, and that would have been a good video. But no, I just did the easy way out and went to the park for like 10 minutes. Don't get lazy, guys. That's another thing about these offensive jokes. They're easy, okay? Everyone knows the stereotypes. Don't always go the easy way. Very problematic. Public opinions and allegations. Okay, this one is pretty reactionary. I'm trying to talk about the Me Too movement and if should you trust public opinion, but it all comes across as just desperately trying to be funny. Is it serious? Well, maybe the commentary in the middle is a serious discussion about public opinion, but then the video starts off with the song about O.J. Simpson being innocent.
OJ, you know I miss my boy.
This video is just all over the place. It goes in reactionary. Next up, we got the N-word. Now, this video is very clearly, once you watch it, is very inspired by Filthy Frank. Or, I mean, sorry, a straight-up rip-off of the Filthy Frank video.
My dick gets bigger cause I'm a sandy ninja. My dick gets bigger cause I'm a sandy ninja.
Interesting dance. It's the first video I did with my friend Abir. And, you know, it was a collaborative effort. Unforgivable. Nothing crazy happens here. Mr. Dodger's Neighborhood. Where to begin with this one? Okay, well, first of all, there's a school shooting reference. There's an AIDS joke with Freddie Mercury. Then, obviously, Abir plays a stereotypical character. And nothing of importance is being said in this video. It's just a very dumb parody of Mr. Rogers. Except instead of him combating bigotry, this is expanding on edginess. So, It's just problematic. Fantasian. Now, I actually like the concept of this video with good intentions of trying to combat the idea that Eastern Asians are a monolith, and I use my personal experience of being mistaken as Asian as a catalyst to launch this discussion. Unfortunately, I also inject a lot of stereotypical jokes.
You ready to go to Chinatown, Kappa?
It's half and half. I think the intention is good. Execution, besides the atrocious audio, could have been done a lot better. I could redo this video. I'll give it a forgivable. It's in the right place. It's just not executed well. Alright, tricks are for normies. This video is honestly not bad. I don't see why. You're retarded. Okay, that word. Yeah, okay, well, I'm not going to use that in my videos anymore. Clearly very distasteful, but we'll stay away from that one. How to impress your crush. Very clearly a satirical video on how not to engage with courtship with a mate. Forgivable. 50 characters in quarantine, or if the thumbnail shows you a 50 character kamikaze. Now this video, I'm taking a look at a lot of my problematic characters in the past and essentially killing them. So it's a lot more self-aware. Yet again, the way that these problematic characters go out is with problematic jokes.
Oh, we going down alright.
There is a way to engage with dealing with problematic characters that you made. You could repurpose them to make commentary about racism. Of course, you have to be very self-aware. To make this type of content, it goes double offensive because the video is also kind of an editing mess. It's just lame. Okay, we spread fake news, or MNN6. The stories in this are clearly fake. At the beginning, there's a bit
Okay.
So there's an issue there. Because of the subject matter, the timing, it's not going to age well, so problematic. And finally, for this video, we get a very normal vlog you must watch. The most recent video on this list. Now I must say it does have edgy jokes. It's very clearly over the top. I mean, the premise of the video is I be turned into a misogynistic robot who thinks their perceived intellect is justification for treating other people like garbage. So clearly the intent is to make fun of people like that. So it's forgivable, maybe. I mean, all these videos are forgivable. Up to you to decide. Everything else, though, permanent blemish. Alright, I've done enough exposing myself for this video. Now I have tons of more videos with problematic material in them, but that would take way too long, so I'll go over that more later. But man, all this exposing myself has made me thirsty. It's made me quite quenched for something more than just this. See, there has to be somebody who can humble everybody, because everybody's done stuff like this. There's got to be some sort of official or person who can rise up to the occasion and take on like a sort of mantle or a title or a superhero who can get in everybody's business. I got it.